Good morning. Okay, so I had another ET contact experience on Friday night. I was down outside a local village. I was just like about 8 miles outside Lincoln, outside local village, just not far outside the village at all really. And I was with a friend, which was good because he experienced everything I experienced, which is good because then you can't really write it off as like imagination or delusion or psychosis or whatever. And it was, I call it a contact experience because it was more than just lights in the sky. It's the whole energetic, vibrational experience. It's quite mind-blowing when you experience this sort of thing. And so what happened, we were at this sort of like picnic site place. It was dark, it was after dark. It wasn't, I don't know what time it was. It was only just dark, I think. Can't have been that late. And I saw like what I thought was a shooting star out the corner of my eye. And I looked over there and I mentioned it to my friend because we've been talking about UFOs earlier because he had the sighting before. He's quite sceptical about this thing. He's not really into spirituality and that, although it's sort of opened his mind since he had his own sighting. And so we had been talking about it, and it did sort of feel like it might be a potential scenario for something to happen because first time we bumped into each other like 3 times in one day. 3, the magic number, Bashar's magic number. And on the 3rd time we decided to go out and have a chat. And we ended up like this, blah, 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 blah. And I saw this like shooting star thing out the corner of my eye, and it caught my attention. And then from where I looked up, there was a flash of light, like from where, it wasn't anything spectacular. It was not much different to like an airplane light or something, but it wasn't an airplane because it wasn't like continuous flash, it was just one flash. And then it's sort of a bit over to the left, it like flashed again, and by this time we're like, whoa, that's a bit weird. And then it sort of moved over a bit again, and it like, I had a torch in my hand, so at this point I flashed back, and then it like flashed 3 times, and I flashed back 3 times, then it flashed 2 times. Just see if there's anyone around. I get a bit nervous talking about like UFOs and flying saucers in public places still. There's no one here, I can relax. And yeah, so it flashed 3 times, and I flashed back 3 times. By this point it was like stationary. Then it flashed twice, and I flashed back twice. And then I like flashed 3 times, and then it didn't flash anymore. But by this time, like the atmosphere had gone like, I say the word electric because it wasn't like an electric atmosphere. It was like the way my friend described it, and he's not really into all this spirituality and energy stuff. He don't really, very skeptical about it, but he felt this totally, exactly what I felt. This like deep stillness and like presence. Like, you know, when you're meditating and you get a silent mind, and you sometimes have those sort of enlightenment, like samadhi. I'm not claiming I've experienced samadhi, I'm not enlightened, but you know, you like mind goes blank when you're meditating, and you just got no thought whatsoever, and everything is just like blissful and beautiful because you've got no thoughts fucking with your head. And it's like that. It's like the extraterrestrial energy was like penetrate, even though the craft was probably half a mile, maybe more way in the sky. I don't know. It must have been fairly close because the energy we felt, and it was like, it just like penetrates this deep stillness into the air, and when you're absorbed in this energy, your mind just stops completely. You're just like so sucked into their aura. You like operate on their way of being because they don't use their physical minds, as far as I'm aware. They sort of operate from this, because like enlightened beings, like if you have like teachers like Muji and Adyashanti and like Bentinho and Massaro, they like don't operate from the mind. You know, these Eastern teachings, they're all talking about not listening to your mind, because like the enlightened state, you're like operating from a higher place of instinct, intuition, and they have like these enlightened teachers, they have silent minds most of the time. They don't really have thoughts like we do. They're not got a constant mind going, oh, when do I pay my bills, when do I blah blah blah. Like, that's the nonsense of the human condition. And these ETs, they operate on this same place, like, but even more so. And like I could just sense their energy. They were like up there in the sky, and their energy was just surrounding us, and we just, like, you've heard about it before, like, and breathe and relax. in like the Rendlesham Forest case, I'm sure they talked about this, how there was like an eerie stillness in the air. If you haven't heard of Rendlesham Forest, it was a famous UFO case in the United Kingdom where a military base, it's a US military base that was rumoured to hold nuclear missiles, because the ETs show up around these nuclear bases. They've disabled a lot of nuclear bases to show like humans, like, we understand you've got free will and you've got to play out all your karma and your crazy wars and stuff, but we ain't going to let you blow up your planet, and we ain't going to let you nuke things that like interfere with possibly other dimensions and us. So the ETs are showing up around nuclear bases, a lot of disabled nuclear weapons is like a sort of thing to say. And anyway, Rendlesham Forest was a big UK, one of the most famous UFO incidents in the world, right up there with Roswell in my opinion. And yeah, and the like there's loads of military personnel, like colonel, like high colonels, like the second ranking officer on the base has come forward like loads of times to talk about this. And they talk about, like, it's recorded, he's done a voice recording, and you can actually feel the energy in the voice recording, because he's done a voice recording of what happened while he was there. Anyway, they speak about this like stillness, like this eerie silence in the air, this weird energy, this weird atmosphere, and like loads of UFO and extraterrestrial contactees and experiencers have talked about like when the experiences happen, there's like this stillness, this denseness, like there's something going on, like they're like penetrate our consciousness and our reality. And this is exactly what happened, because the lights were pretty cool and spectacular on their own, but what was convinced us that it was real was this incredible denseness and like electric still energy just surrounding us. And that's it really. But ever since I had this contact experience on Friday night, it was, what's the date today, like April 13th, something like that, 2016, and it was Friday night, so it was like April 8th or something like that. And yeah, ever since I had that contact experience, I've been getting like huge downloads of information about how we can save the planet and what we need to do to, it sounds a bit egotistical say I know how to save the planet, and obviously I'm just doing my small part, but how we can all come together and like start working together. And I've been getting like huge information flowing to me, and I presume it's something to do with this extraterrestrial contact event. And so I made a video yesterday, and you may be seeing it, and it's a bit dark because it's talking about like the Illuminati and like how we're dominated by a global banking system. And I don't want to focus on all this stuff too much, because like, as we know, if we focus on negative things, we create negative realities. But at the minute, they do seem to be running the show. And so I just like put that out there as a background, just to sort of help people really see that the current system isn't supporting us, isn't helping us at all, and we need to move on to a new system. We don't need to kill them, we don't need to get them out of the way. I mean, killing is pretty much a dark side action itself. We don't want to be joining them. We don't need to get rid of them, we just need to build a new structure, a new system. We need to start working together. All 7 billion of us on the planet, or to start with, at least the ones of us that are ready, are willing. I can see that it's the way forward, the only way forward, as we shift into a fourth density service to others civilization, where we all follow our passion and our highest excitement. And we understand that when we're all following our passion and our highest excitement, that is the most we can do for the human race and the building of a new fourth density golden age. And yeah, so I've been getting these downloads, or whatever you want to call them, just inspiration, like clarity on what we need to do to move forward, what my part is in this building of a new fourth density golden age Earth. And so I'm probably going to be making a lot of videos over the next few days, just getting this information out there. It's like, hopefully I'm not going to forget it all. And that was it. So have a good day. And this year is going to be a big year, big year for extraterrestrial contact and movement towards the global understanding that we are not alone, and we have been visited for many thousands of years, and the visitation is ongoing. And they are visiting me, and I'm having contact, and many millions of people on the planet are having contact, and it's all being covered up by the government. Not necessarily the government, who knows who's covering this up, all these shadow governments, and we don't know what's going on with like all the way the CIA and the FBI, and they're all segregated, and like the Navy, and they're all working for their own goods. And are they working together, or are they working on their own, and why are they covering it up? But it's definitely being covered up. But this year it's all going to start coming out, I guarantee it. Definitely over the next 2 years, because like Bashar Bashar is an extraterrestrial entity travelled by diurnal anchor, and you can check out Bashar, bashar.org. And he's said that over the next 2 years, probably this year I think, there's going to be something happen that is going to show humanity that we're not alone in the universe. I mean, it might just be like a microbe discovered on another planet, but that is like massively significant, because a microbe like proves that life exists on other planets. And Bashar says that once this event occurs, it's going to dramatically change the collective consciousness of our planet. We're going to like, I think it's going to shift us into a more enlightened, fourth density way of viewing things. The realization that we're not alone. And the Yael, the extraterrestrial entities that I channel, have said that there's going to be a big flyover of a like boomerang shape. They're boomerang large. I think their ship is like a mile wide or something. Boomerang shaped craft, which is the same craft that was in the Phoenix Lights. You heard of the Phoenix Lights sighting? Like Google the Phoenix Lights. And that's going to happen again this year. And so I think I'm spoke out. So have a good day. Hey, welcome to a new fourth density reality.